Well, that was an episode. Bro, we got a lot to talk about because I'm a little confused on a couple of these things here. Okay, we're gonna get into this, but boy, is my boy Cheese dead? Like, what is happening?
Blood and
Cheese,
cheese. They're both dead, bro.
they're both dead.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, but yeah, they're both dead.
That's blood and cheese. That's what it is in the books.
That's what no, that's not what it is in the books, bro. That's not at all, and that's what the show's given us. And you saw we've got private chats that I can go through and look at to remind me about the stuff we were talking about. Yeah, and I think I put bullshit in the chat at that point because, bro, one of them in the books gets caught at the gate with the head in the bag. He is given to Larys. Larys does in weird, creepy stuff on him, and he ends up dying. The rat catcher Cheese is never to be found, and it's always a mystery as to whether he's still out there and all this kind of stuff. So very interesting. Wow. They changed it.
I can't believe that those two characters. That's it. Like, I don't know. Wow. Okay.
It was instantly passed on to Daemon and Rhaenyra. As you saw, the conversation shifted towards them two and what the ramifications of that were. So it makes sense that they did what they did. Bro, it's a show about the Targaryens. So if you're not Targaryen, you're not safe. It's a show about the Targaryens. Everyone else is just cannon fodder, right?
Wow. I'm literally shocked on that because I did not expect that at all. Like, when they caught blood, I'm like, okay, so if they kill him, the other dude's going to be still alive, and then, we see him hung. But, wow, okay.
It is referenced in the book that Aegon hangs all the rat catchers, but his face is never seen amongst the hanging bodies.
So. Wow. I'm like shocked on that, man. It's wow. Okay. Crazy.
To me, that's crazy that's what you come to me first with, like blood cheese, bro. What the hell? I'm like, okay.
Because I wasn't expecting it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else I was expecting, I guess.
In the book, Blood and Cheese is literally 6 paragraphs. It's not even got its own chapter. It's 6 paragraphs within a chapter.
It's just the way everyone talks about it. Like,
because it's so big. Because what it does, it starts the war.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy. I don't know. I guess I wasn't expecting that. So, what's up, chat?
I will say it is definitely worth a rewatch. I said backstage to Headless, and I think I might have blown his mind a little bit. I am super excited. I've even got a beer out of the fridge because this is a celebratory time for me right now. I have just witnessed my favorite episode in Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon history. That episode I have waited a long time to see, especially the Cargill brothers, which we'll talk about. I physically was crying earlier this evening, like 20 minutes ago. My hand was like this, and there were tears coming down my face. It was amazing what they did with it. It's different again from the books, which we'll talk about. But for me, I was joking last week. I gave the episode 1 10 out of 10 because it was the return of House of the Dragon, and I was so fucking hyped. But guys, I don't even know how I give this not an 11. How does it go better than 10 out of 10 when this is the best episode I've ever seen? I am shocked.
I don't even know where to start. I mean, there's so much here. I mean,
it's a big.
Well, first of all, thank you, chat, for showing up. We appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. I don't have no idea how long we'll be because there's a lot to break down here. Okay, so all right, wow. So first off, it wasn't supposed to be live tonight. I was supposed to be at a concert like right now, and unfortunately, we had to take the one puppy to the emergency room a couple of days ago. She's been up there for, I think, 3 nights now, and we're doing a surgery on her gallbladder, and we're hoping it's the easy way because there's like 3 different ways this thing can go. But anyways, that's why I'm here, and I just want to take my mind off of it. So me and Doreen, we went to dinner with Mandy. We took her, and we came home. We watched episode 1, and it fed right into episode 2. And anyways, that's kind of why I'm here, because originally it was supposed to be Ryan on his channel. So but he was gracious enough to kind of switch plans with me and allow me to do this. So I appreciate that, Ryan.
Yeah, we're going to like breaking it down. See what I say.
Yeah. I mean, it was yesterday and today were rough days. We were up there visiting her. she just didn't look good. She really didn't. But the doctor reassured us a little bit that you know, medically with ultrasounds and all that, it's where she's supposed to be. And once the surgery happens, everything should be okay. But the problem, always the problem is any surgery, there's always risks. She is a 14-year-old dog. She weighs all of 11 pounds. So I already know what the conversation will be tomorrow morning when we go up there and wait. So we know what that conversation is going to be, but we have to do it. Like our dogs are our lives, and
yeah, bro.
I will do whatever it takes to allow her to have a chance, because it was a rough visit this afternoon. It really was. So just know, if anybody out there in the chat, if anyone who joins the membership, anyone who does a super chat, please know that any of that will go right to her, because it's pricey. Let's just put it that way. So, but anyways, I appreciate everyone hanging out tonight. Again, Ryan, I appreciate you, being able to be flexible and come on here. And then tomorrow we'll definitely break everything down tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have some good news tomorrow night. And but yeah, so
I don't know how to address it live. So do I just? I won't give you everything tonight. So if you come with me with questions and stuff, I don't want to give you everything. You know what I mean? Because we are going to break a lot down tomorrow, and this is I think it's probably the longest ever episode we've ever had, right? An hour and 20 minutes. I saw at the start.
Yeah,
it's the longest episode we've ever had.
You told me it was like an hour and what was it, an hour and 12.
Yeah.
And when I looked at the clock when we were done, it was like 10:13, and I'm like, well, crap. There's no way I can set this up in 2 minutes. That's why we're a few minutes late.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, so let's get into this thing. So, and I'm just going strictly off memory here, but I know, we opened up. Aegon was obviously pretty pissed, and I made a comment to you. I'm like, oh, poor Aegon. I'm like, bro, talk to your brother. Like, he's the one who's killed Luke and kind of started this thing, and Daemon was just doing what he thought was right. Although he may have other motivations. I don't know. It's hard because, dude, that conversation, and I had messaged you. I said, dude, how does Matt Smith and Emma D'Arcy, how do they not win every award? Just that scene. It was so good.
It's coming.
It was so
it
good.
has to.
Yeah.
It has to. This is why you just, you're just adding bricks and bricks and bricks onto my already built up wall of this is the best episode ever. Because the storytelling, the scene that those two share. Rhaenyra in the first episode said 4 words, and then in this episode, I'm going to go back tomorrow and I will give you the answer tomorrow. I think Rhaenyra has the most lines in this episode than anyone else. I think she says a lot in this episode.
She did. She had a huge
what I have my notes. I don't know how I manage this, but I watch the episode, I take everything in, and I still take very detailed notes because it helps me with my breakdown as well, because I know how to structure it going forward. But bro, the scene with those two, Matt Smith, just
he crushes it, man. I mean,
I'm gonna take it off the shelf because it deserves it. I have it. I love it. Like my Daemon Targaryen part. I love meeting this guy, and bro, he's probably the best actor on the planet right now. And that's I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan of him. He really, really fucking is the best actor. So good.
Yeah.
And Rhaenyra and him, like, we got the scene. We got the scene teased in the trailer, didn't we? Are you afraid of my succession? Do you really trust me as your queen and all that? And I was super hyped in the trailer, and that's why, because I knew about the conversation that was just going to be happening and why it came from because of the blood and cheese incident. It's just so good how they're weaving it all together.
Yeah, it's it definitely went down differently than I thought it was going to go just from seeing that little trailer. He doesn't really ever say anything. It's odd, dude. It's a little bit odd for me.
Who doesn't say anything? Daemon.
Yeah, Daemon doesn't really say much. He just kind of leaves. And
well, he admitted to it being a mistake.
Yeah, he did.
But it wasn't a mistake. That's a lie. Because we know that, Cheese said, Blood said, he said a son for a son.
Yeah.
So we know it was a lie. But again, you've got to understand, people are going to get their backs up from the books as well, because it's all very different. Mysaria was the one that did all that scheming with Blood and Cheese, not Daemon. So they, they do put a lot of emphasis on Daemon being this bad, horrible guy. Like he admitted to killing these kids. It's like,
and she just lets her go then too, which I thought was weird. Like she just lets her go. Like, Rhaenyra lets Mysaria just go. She's like, okay, well, if this is what he promised you, and I'm thinking, like really?
Well, Mysaria for me needs to be in King's Landing because Mysaria has a story going forward into this season. And I give it the moniker the Battle of the Spy Masters. I think when I did my breakdown video a couple of months ago before this season came out, I said like 5 things I want to see in season 2. One of them was the Battle of the Spy Masters between Mysaria and Larys.
Yeah.
And she does kind of talk a little bit. I like the conversation with her and Rhaenyra today because that's completely not in the books. She never speaks with Rhaenyra. She's always in King's Landing, and it's Daemon that is the consort between her. So her speaking with Rhaenyra is all made up for the show, which is fantastic. Yeah. And the conversations they have between her, I liked what you said. I was getting those vibes, bro. I was like, I could see Rhaenyra just kissing her right now. This is weird. I get those vibes too.
To me, it got a little strange, but
she let her go though. I think she has a story she still plays. So.
She did. So when Daemon and her are talking, like if you go back
Daemon
to
and Rhaenyra.
Yes. So if you go back to, I think it was episode 10 last year, if I remember correctly, was that when he chokes her?
It might have been 9 when she starts to talk about the prophecy that Viserys told her.
Okay, and then it probably was 8 because I don't think they were in 9. Yeah. I think 9 was all agreed.
8 or 10, yeah.
Yeah, it was either episode 8 or 10. So I thought it was coming again, but I thought she was going to be more aggressive against it, but it didn't end up coming, but it definitely seemed like he wanted to again. It's interesting, dude, because like you said, it's not really Daemon in the books. They totally changed that. And it just makes me think like, are they trying to portray, like, kind of like you just said, are they trying to make Daemon more of a, I don't want to say bad guy, but like
he's a Switzerland character. He's the book reader to the show readers. Make your mind up where you want to go.
Right, and but it seems like it's not like that in the books then.
No, in the books he's pretty much a cold badass guy. He just has no feelings, it's just the way it is. He's like that. But I like that they play on the nuance of Matt Smith's acting abilities as well.
Yeah,
because sometimes he can be good, sometimes he can also be bad, and I think that Daemon is being changed by Matt Smith in his own portrayal of the character, which I love because that's method acting, isn't it? That's when a character really gets into their character role. That's when we get the best kind of these things. So yeah. I get it. I see this. I see where you're going with where they're going to go with him, but. They're building him up. They're building him up. His story will obviously. We know. I've told you this story is all going to collapse and everybody is going to die. So they're building up these epic stories, which are just going to be fantastic. Let me check the chat because I know there's loads of it.
Yeah, let me head over to the chat really quick because we have a bunch of comments. So Empty says, Cheese might not be dead, though. I mean, he killed all the rat catchers, but he still may have been nowhere to be found. Well, we saw him, though. Right?
Well, we saw him hanging in the show. Yeah, we saw Cheese hanging in the show.
Yeah, we saw him hanging.
The dog is sat down looking up at him going,
yeah.
Because the dog's okay. The dog survived, guys. That's
the dog survived. That's good news. Survived. It was. I thought it was a little bit weird they showed it. I'll be honest with you. Like, I thought it was cool, but I'm like, it's a little weird. Like, why the dog just happens to be there. But if I can grab a screenshot of that, I'll bring it up on stream. Let's see. Poppin says the look he gives at the table to
Rhaenyra, yeah.
Rhaenyra is so powerful. Yeah, I mean, Matt Smith kills it, that's for sure.
Both of them do.
Yeah, and then he also said she probably wanted to see what he would do next. I agree. I mean, I really agree. And then Poppin likes tater tots. So if you guys were wondering, Poppin loves tater tots. And maybe the next channel membership giveaway should be some frozen tater tots. So I don't know. But yeah, thanks for letting us know that, bro.
She definitely held back on the conversation with Daemon. I could see when she was emphasizing more about how Viserys didn't not want him or love him. It was that he didn't trust him, and he never questioned back why he never trusted him. And she would have then gone down the storyline of the prophecy, which I like that they kind of have steered a little bit away from, only because we got the introduction of the wall in the first episode and what was beyond the wall. So that was their kind of nod to remember the prophecy with the White Walkers. You don't really need to talk about the blade no more because Aegon's got that. So it makes the connections, and she doesn't really need to talk about what the series said. But the viewer that from first season through it, those threads are being weaved in. Pardon my pun with the tapestry thing, but yeah, it makes so much sense how they're doing it.
And then Umpty said, Martin said, Mushroom told the books from his view, but the series is actually what happened. Yeah, I mean, we've definitely heard about that because, again,
Mushroom's one of the three.
Yeah, what is it? 3 maesters that tell the story in the book, right? And
yeah, the book's written by Archmaester Gildane, who is a pseudonym of George R.R. Martin. He basically placed himself into his own world as an Archmaester and wrote this book. So it's an Archmaester writing a book from the perspective of 3 other Archmaesters that are around at this time. One on the Greens, one on the Blacks, and Mushroom the Dwarf in the middle. And Mushroom was devious. The other 2 were always supporting either side. And that's why you get 3 tellings of the same things all the way through the book, basically.
Yeah.
It makes, and the show basically has 3, if not 4, ways that they could go with any event in this history of this show that's written on the books. Because they could go with Green Archmaester, Black's Archmaester, they could go with Mushroom for the seedy stuff. And then Ryan Condal could also be like, do you know what? I'm going to shock everybody because we've got all these expectations from the book viewers and all these expectations from the show viewers. Let's just shock everybody like a Red Wedding thing and do something crazy, which they still could do.
Yeah. And I see, here's the thing though. I agree with Umpty because I think I do. I think that because, I mean, there has to be something like this. I think that he's right though. I think what we're seeing in the show is what really happened. And I know it's tough because people like yourself, Ryan, I mean, you're a huge fan of the book, but again, if it's told like a history book and these are the people that are telling us a story, but again, like you're saying, we're getting 3 different versions, then maybe this is what really happened. And again, I know it's hard because it's not what George probably wanted to show or wanted to be, but when the show gets adapted to television at some point,
George is involved though.
What'd you say?
Sorry to cut you up. George is involved in this, though. George has said he's seen episodes 1 to 4, and he's very happy with what Ryan's done with his.
Right, that's what I'm saying, though. So he was involved in this. So this is maybe what really happened, where the book is more like a history book. Like, I mean, dude, think about it in school. I mean, we would read history books, and then you find out like 2 years later, I'm like, well, that was not exactly the way it happened. So it's kind of similar. Yeah. That's the way I'm.
Then you need to flip the coin on the other head when you think of Game of Thrones. I think the real story is on page, not from what Dan and David gave us. And I love what they gave us from 1 to 5, but everything after, for me, is not really what happened. So I mean, it's hard to be on those parallel lines because Game of Thrones, the TV show, is not in my head what happens because George will finish the story with the books. But House of the Dragon TV show, in my mind, I'm happy to accept this is the true telling of the story.
Yeah.
No, so it's a weird cross communicate between my mind to be able to accept it all. But yeah, maybe we'll get a retelling of Game of Thrones if the fandom is big enough. It was the biggest TV show in the world, and if House of Dragon brings everybody back, there could be enough say out there to maybe retell the story again.
Yeah, it's just funny because like before the episode was playing, I was playing episode season 3, episode 4 when when Daenerys takes over the Unsullied. I mean, it's got to be one of the best. To me, it's like probably the best scene of Game of Thrones. Like, it's awesome because like she plays it off where she doesn't understand what this slave master is saying, and then she just comes on. She just starts speaking his language. It's so good, dude. I love it. That's why it's loaded on my screen all the time because I love watching that scene.
Speaking of the language, High Valyrian and Dothraki and all that kind of stuff. New Year's resolution for myself in January, I found out that on Babbel, the app that it teaches you to speak different languages. Don't know if you've ever heard of it. There is Game of Thrones downloads for you can learn how to speak High Valyrian, you can learn how to speak Dothraki. So my New Year's resolution is going to be to try and learn how to speak a completely different language. But be Game of Thrones, because that would be brilliant, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool too if you can, if you could speak Ewok, that'd be great. We can actually know what they're saying then throughout the Return of the Jedi. So we get the opening scene, which was great. I did not feel. I don't know. Do you think they were trying to make us feel for Aegon? Because I did not feel for him at all. I actually hated him in this episode, which I like. He definitely gave me Joffrey vibes. I definitely did not feel sorry for him. But I'll tell you what, though, dude, when Otto comes in and he's so Otto to me is like he's like the villain of the villains right now.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant
because I feel like everyone hates him right now at the end of this episode. Everyone hates him. But when he's talking about telling Alicent and telling her to go tell Helena, like, oh, you guys need to caravan, dude, when they got stuck in the mud or whatever, dude, I seriously thought we were seeing Jaehaerys' head roll down that freaking thing, dude. I thought we were gonna see his head roll off. I was like waiting for it.
It would have been. Would you have laughed? Would that have been a comedic thing? Would that have taken you out of it? Or
I don't know if I would have laughed. I probably would have laughed. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I would have laughed because I was waiting for it. I don't know. It was weird because I'm like, oh, they found his head, and like you can see the sewing marks they sewed it back on or whatever. But dude, I seriously thought his head was going to be rolling down, and I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. But I wanted it to happen. So, but it was good. I mean, it's interesting, dude. Otto is I still blame Otto for 95% of this. I really do. I mean, how do you feel about it? Like, I just think he's 95% of this issue of this whole thing.
Yeah, I've always had a relationship with Otto where I love to hate him. He's one of my favorite actors. He's from a village quite close to where I used to grow up as a kid. He's Welsh, and if anybody's seen Kevin and Perry Go Large, the movie, he's Eyeball Paul, the DJ that puts the vodka in his eye. If anyone knows that, that's a cool little shout out to him. He's fantastic. But in this show, this episode, he goes up like this to being most hated, to coming back down to being okay, there's a little bit of sympathy, to going back up again. And then by the end of it, I was kind of feeling a little bit sorry for the guy. A little bit at the end. I was like, oh. So, let me just read my notes out, because I did write some things about him. I put Aegon is furious, traitors and villains, he declares war. Aemond finds a coin, that's what we'll get back onto. Otto tells Alicent not to be shaken. Alicent says the gods punish her. How can good come of this? Are we past the watershed? Can I swear?
Oh, yeah, you're good, dude. Go ahead.
There was a line, smug cunt of Dragonstone. Bro, what a line.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I even put in my notes, Aegon is brilliant. Really stepped up his game for this episode. So, yeah, I like Aegon. But Otto, slime ball, bro. He's an absolute slime ball. Weaving his way all the time.
Yeah. I mean, Aegon's the actor is doing really well. Like, I mean, I definitely like him in this episode more than the previous three or whatever, however many he's been in so far. So, Lilia Fires in the chat. I'm an Aegon fan.
Nice.
Are you an Aegon fan over Aemond? We did not get a bunch of Aemond today.
No, Aemond's coming, bro. Lily, are you green or black? Just need to clarify. We haven't spoke with you for a while on the channel. Are you green or black?
Don't let her fool you, because she also bought a House Targaryen.
We're all Targaryen fans, but they're all Targaryens.
Yeah, she did buy it. I don't know.
Are you green or black? That's the more important question. Because you love Aegon. Does that mean you're more on Aegon's side now? Or do you still see that Rhaenyra has done absolutely nothing wrong and everyone keeps blaming her for everything? Bro, I was screaming at the TV when Otto said blame it on her anyway. I'm like, you absolute twat.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, Otto was good in this one though. He is such a good one. So he's such a good he's such a good actor, so Team Black. There you go. All right, so then we move on. We'll move on, and we were kind of already talked about Daemon because this is kind of at the point that we get the Daemon and Rhaenyra conversation, and then we thought we were going to see Moondancer. So Moondancer belongs to Baela, correct?
Correct.
All right, but we didn't see him. We never saw him.
Nope.
I thought we were about to see him, and then I had messaged you and I said, you know what? I kind of in my head, I'm like, you don't have to answer this, but I go, is Baela kind of like a badass? Because I'm kind of getting that vibe, dude, that Baela's gonna
well, her mother rode Vhagar, the biggest dragon ever, and her father is Daemon Targaryen.
Right.
So if you would like to mix those two badass characters together, you're probably going to come out with another badass character.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, yeah, she's badass.
Yeah, I'm thinking Baela is going to have some big scenes moving forward. And I'm glad because like we haven't really seen her do much. And same thing with her sister. You know, we haven't really seen either one of them do anything for the most part. Helena in this episode was kind of meh for me. I didn't get a whole lot from her. Yeah, I mean, she didn't really do much. I mean, okay. So explain to me why I'm wrong, because maybe I missed something. Because I just didn't think she did much.
Did you catch the prophecy with the falling ash?
Oh, so she said some more words and I missed it.
No, we've seen it on screen.
Okay.
We saw the veiled look of her in the carriage that we'd seen from the trailer. And then she looked up and we saw the falling ash. That was another callback to a prophecy. You could say season 8 of Game of Thrones with the look like snow in King's Landing, but it was actually ash, all that kind of stuff. Or it could be maybe something going forward. Hey Kenneth, welcome to the stream, buddy. I'm a little bit disappointed that she even spoke in this episode, because in the book, Helena is a complete and utter mute and is recluse to her room and is hardly ever seen out in public at all. Well, in the book after the death of her kids.
Yeah. I mean,
she's a complete mute. She never speaks. People think she's absolutely crazy. She just sits in corner, knitting, mumbling stupid words and prophecies. That's what people say of her. And in this, she had quite a lot to say.
She didn't talk that much though in this episode, I don't think. I mean, she kind of talked to Alicent a few times, but Big Beast, it was more. I don't know. I mean, I guess I was expecting, but you're saying that
when I'm expecting somebody to be completely mute, I think she said quite a lot. When I'm expecting her to be completely mute, so yeah, I guess she probably only had a couple of lines, but I wasn't expecting anything from her. You know what I mean? I'm
gonna see if I can bring.
I put Helena sees another dream. Hashtag Ash falling. We learned that Rhaenyra hears that she was accused. Daemon sits there smiling with a smug look on his face. He takes no responsibility. He has weakened Rhaenyra's standing. Daemon still denies it. Rhaenyra doesn't believe him. And then I put, yes. Oh my God, this is a scene that should get an Oscar. Use me to steal your inheritance. And then I put, ha ha ha. Is this what married life is? No wonder I'm single.
I'm trying to find the scene with the ash. I don't quite remember how far in the episode it was. I thought it was more in the first half, but I could be wrong.
It is in the first half because it's
Okay, wait.
If you've seen Daemon and Rhaenyra, then it's before that.
This is blood. Oh my God, dude, it's pouring here. I don't know if you guys can hear that because I had the windows open. The wife had to turn the air conditioner off today because it was only like 75 and we wanted to get some fresh air, but man, it's pouring next to me so bad. So this is the ash episode. It's like right here. I'm trying to get a good spot. It's kind of when she looks up a little bit.
Yep.
Because they kind of go right back to Rhaenyra at that point. You know, it's interesting too because so in the book, did they try to make Rhaenyra look like this is all her fault?
The word gets out,
Yeah.
The word gets out that it was Rhaenyra's side because she's obviously the one that's in charge of the blacks and stuff. It comes from her name. She's queen, supposedly on the black. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then the dude in the crowd is like cursing her and stuff too. I thought something might have happened with that dude. I don't know.
Well, so was the people walking through the streets. They were like, "This is the work of Queen Rhaenyra." Like,
Yeah.
no, it's not. Like, and I disagree. Like, if Helena was gonna speak, I would have liked her to have even said something to Alicent or to her husband Aegon. Like, it wasn't for me. It wasn't a face I knew. It was, it was some strange people, and not always just assume that it was Rhaenyra that did this. But they obviously they say the line "a son for a son," so it kind of pulls homage to it, and then that gets Aemon involved. But I liked where Aemon went back to. As you know, we didn't get much of Aemon, but he went back to the brothel, which we got a tease to in season 1.
Do we get an actual name for this episode, by the way?
I didn't see it. I watched it backstage with you. Is it not on HBO?
Because I'm trying to catch that one scene right now, and I do not see the name of the episode. It just says episode 2. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't find a name. Did you find the scene?
Yeah, I mean, so the scene is right here, and like
it's right after it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's if I play it for just a minute, you'll kind of see the ash. You can kind of see it a little bit there, but yeah, I don't want to get copyright and all that crap because they love to do that. I'll tell you that. So, but yeah, it's not raining here, dude. It was pouring. Now it's like done though. It's kind of crazy. Dude, today's been a crazy day with this rain because like we've had like 4 different downpours and it lasts for like 2 minutes and that's it. That's what we get. And then then the humidity comes back. But all right. So what else we got in this episode, man? We
what do you think to Cole, bro? I think there was a rivalry in this episode with who could get hated most, Cole or Otto, because like one of the scenes that got me raging was Cole standing in the room on his post where he should have been fucking standing the night before, and he's in the way of these people cleaning, and they asked to get past it. The look on his face is guilty, and it's like, bro, little too late. I put in my notes, little too late, you motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. So to Cole, dude, like, I mean, the way he goes and blames Eric, dude, I was like, dude, just punch this dude. Like, I wanted so bad for him to say, bro, where were you? Like, where were you at? Like, oh, all of a sudden it was his post. I mean, dude, Chris and Cole. I don't know who I hate more, Chris and Cole or Otto sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. They had a race this week. Yeah, I need to go back. I need to confirm tomorrow night because I don't want to confirm or deny. But I'm sure in the book it's Otto who sends Eric, not Cole. I'm sure. I will confirm tomorrow. That's why I say I don't want to confirm or deny because I could be completely wrong and completely.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think it was Otto. So yes, that will stay tuned tomorrow and I'll give you the answer.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I had no idea that it would be. I mean, again, when you're watching it, you're kind of so sucked into the world that it's hard because again, I haven't watched past season 1. I have listened to it, and there's definitely differences in season 1 compared to the book, but like I just don't. It's hard because I don't know. But then I'll see you say some stuff in the like at the private chat when we're watching, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's totally different. Like the blood and cheese part. Like I seriously cannot believe that both of those characters are dead right now. Like we technically don't see blood die, but like, dude got smacked with that whatever that thing he was using, Aegon was using.
In the book, it is literally told like. It's a story, bro. It's it's literally 6 paragraphs or something. It's like it's telling this story of what happened with the Son for a Son. Mysaria hired these 2 people. They climbed up the Red Keep. They did all this. You see the telling of the story that I played last week, and then it literally goes from that to the next morning. Blood is found at the gates of King's Landing with the head of Jacaerys. But cheese is never to be found. And then that's the end of the blood and cheese stuff because it leads into what happens after.
I'm still shocked, dude. Like the way people have been talking about online about blood and cheese, and even you've mentioned it a few times. I'm like, oh, they gotta be big parts in season 2.
They are. They start the war. That's the biggest thing that happens. They've started the war, bro.
I guess, but like I can't
An
believe
innocent child was killed.
And then okay, so I mean we're skipping around here, obviously, but like so then let's get to Eric and Eric because I was kind of mad about this, dude. I'll be honest with you, I was mad. I was mad about it. So Kristen goes to Eric with I think Eric with an A, and he's the one. He's the one who's his pledged Team Green, and he's questioning him about where was he during Jaehaerys's death and all this stuff. And then basically he said, he's like, well, here's what you can do. He's like, you can go to Dragonstone all by yourself and go kill Rhaenyra. Like, I'm like, okay, thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, bro, good luck with that. Like, you're not even gonna get close. Well, we end up seeing what happens. She sends Eric to escort Mysaria away, and I don't know, man. It's weird because they obviously want to confuse you, and you said the same thing in the chat. You told me like, well, they're trying to make you confused, and I was
they literally transition scene by scene, two different people, and you lose track of who's who.
You really have no idea because they do end up looking the same.
I know
which
who's
is
who, but you lose track.
Because I thought in season, I think it was episode 9. I think they're in a lot. Episode 9. Like I always thought I could tell the difference, but I literally could not tell the difference in this episode.
That's why I like how they played it off because sorry to cut in, but like
no, you're fine, dude.
in the book, it is said that they come across each other in the hallway, and the fight lasts for a long time, and it can be heard all around the castle, and it draws attention, and people rush to it because there's a clashing of swords. But when the guards and everybody that is there to control this shit stuff, they don't know who's who, so they don't know who to attack because they're twins, and they end up fighting for days, and they end up mortally wounding each other at exactly the same moment. And
so different
and dying in each other's arms. Basically, I think one dies then, and then the other one dies like an hour later from his wounds. But like, it's very different. So I got to see this fold out, and I was so much more closer to the battle in the show now, because from the book it was from someone's perspective looking on the fight and telling the story. So the switching of scenes and I had to literally be like, who's that?
Yeah. I mean, the way I took it is that the Eric with an E, which is Rhaenyra's Eric, he's the one who actually wins the battle. And I think what happens is he ends up just taking his own life because he doesn't want her to ever think that he is off to get her, because she doesn't want him, because it's just too hard to tell at that point. And that's the way I take it.
Lily's helping me so a lot, but there is another perspective where no one hears a thing. There's a play on the book where it's one person says something, one person says another.
I mean, how did you look at that fight? Like, who did you think actually won the fight?
So I thought the person that won was Arik, and then Arik apologized to her for being there and killed himself. I think Arik from Aegon, I think he was the one who won the fight.
Oh, do you really? Okay. So, but why would he have killed himself?
Because he killed his brother. It was a dishonor to himself and his everything. He loved his brother. He said that in the episode. You split us apart, but I love you. And then he did what he did. I'm gonna need to watch that fight again, because tomorrow I'm gonna have breakdowns scene by scene, and I'll tell you which one's Arik, which one's Arik, literally as it goes through it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kept thinking, I'm like, well, if the Eric would have won, wouldn't he not have just pretended, and then he could have finished what Cole wanted him to do? But again, I also don't know how much Eric respected what Cole wanted, even though he did still end up going, and he tried a couple of times during the fight. Even
he's basically had no choice, did he? Because Cole's higher rank than him. He had no choice to deny it. He would have got put in front of Aegon, who was already going mad with the stuff that's going on, so he wouldn't have been listening to honor and duty, and he would have just lost his head for it anyway. So he had to go.
I don't know. Chat.
I was so upset. I was crying.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Chat. While we got we got a ton of people in the chat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and post a new poll, and let me know, who do you think won that? Eric with an A or Eric with an E? Remember, Eric with an A is with Aegon. Eric with an E is with Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what you guys think, because I definitely think that I don't know. I definitely think it was the other Eric, because I don't know why he would have just killed himself. I don't know. It's interesting.
Because he killed his brother, bro, in a war that had nothing to do with his family and had nothing to do with anything. You know, they were brought into this thing through wrongdoings and just being split apart because of family quarrels that it literally had nothing to do with them. You know, it's a sad story of the Cargill brothers. I've hated waiting for it, and it's been a sad day. I literally I can't remember. I can't take out that scene in my head now of being sat backstage here with my hands and holding my head and just tears.
Yeah,
just absolute tears for those two. I can't wait to watch it again. I really can't.
Yeah. It was tough because I like Eric as a character. It just felt like, I don't know. I feel like we lost 4 characters today that I thought were. I don't want to say
get used to it, bro.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we have now have 5. I mean, I don't want, again, major deaths. Can you consider these major? Not
yes.
really. You think
the Cargill brothers are a major deaths in the story? Yes.
But they really were not in the first season that much. Like, they maybe had 15 minutes of screen time total.
It's the ramifications of what happens, bro. Remember in this episode, Rhaenyra said to Daemon, "I do not trust you. I cannot trust you." Well, now she cannot trust the people in the armor protecting her. She cannot trust anybody, bro. Everybody around her is a threat.
Yeah.
You know, and Rhaenyra's done absolutely nothing wrong. I know I am strongly sided on the blacks, but she really hasn't done anything wrong. She was a little girl coerced into things by her uncle. Yeah, that can be ambiguous and talked about. She was put in a family, and she was thrust into a position by her father. She wanted to have a little bit of respect. She got that respect, and then she lost it all with death after death after death after death, with accusation after accusation after accusation. Like, bro, it's leading. Everything's got a ramification and a story and a reason as to why we will get to where we get to with the characters that we've still got alive. You know, and the Cargill brothers are massive. They are massive.
Okay. Poppin says, if you watch close enough in the earlier scenes of the episode, Eric has longer hair than the Eric. So I'll definitely be watching it again. So, and then Imperion, welcome in, brother. Formerly Blue Wolf. I feel no pity for Otto, but he was 100% right when he was holding Aegon. Oh, definitely. Dude, it reminds me a lot of like the Tywin relationship with Joffrey. I mean, I'll send you your room with no dessert, or what does he say? He says something like that. No, I'll send you to your room with no dessert, or maybe
no supper. Send it to your room with no supper.
But it is similar. Yeah.
I am the king. If one has to say they are a king, then they are not a king.
Yeah. I'll send you to bed without your supper. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, if I had to pick one now,
I just assumed it was Eric.
Yeah, exactly. I got a couple people saying that they think it's Eric, with an E. I don't know. We'll leave that poll up for a few minutes, and we'll keep kind of going through. So let's see, where are we at here? I'm kind of gonna just go back to our private chat. We kind of were talking about it all the way through. Let's see.
Well, I was watching it in Mary Headless messaged me, check the private chat, and I was like, oh, bro, stop disturbing my peace. I had to move out the full screen, check private chat, and bro, at one point he even paused it and then started it again. I'm like, I'm gonna punch this guy.
You know why I did that? I was like,
we're out of sync.
I was a second behind on my TV than you were on the computer. And I kept looking down, and I would see your screen flash before mine. I'm like, this is irritating. I gotta like just pause it for a quick second and get it caught up. That's the only reason why I did that. Okay, let's talk about these characters, some side characters. So and I forgot who Hugh was, and it's Hugh Hammer. He's the blacksmith. So we get a little scene with him and I'm assuming it's his wife, and then I'm not sure who was the girl who was like sick or whatever. Is that their daughter or who is this? Because I don't really know.
Yeah, you for now you're meant to believe it's
His
him
daughter.
And his family. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it was weird because like we saw him in the throne asking for supplies up front and all that to Aegon, and Aegon's like, yes, we can't win the war.
Aegon making weapons and stuff for war and stuff. They asked for more money up front to be able to build these, to be able to protect them.
Yeah. So I
thought Hammer will be a very, very important character going forward.
Yeah. And I kind of assumed that because I'm like, I was not expecting to see him, and I couldn't even remember who it was. That's why I had asked you. And then later on, we go back to a little scene with what is it? Over at the shipyard or whatever.
Alan and Adam of Hull.
Alan and then also Adam. Now we have
Adam has hair. Alan has no hair.
Right. We have Alan and Adam, and again, I kind of know the link between. At least I know for sure. I know Alan's. Who was the one we met last week? Was it Alan? Alan. I unfortunately know the I know the link between Alan.
You know his lineage?
I do. Unfortunately, I did see this. It's hard to make YouTube videos on House of the Dragon without once in a while getting a spoiler. It's tough. So I do know. Now the other character I do not. I have guesses, obviously, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know what they're doing with Adam of Hull. I really don't know what they're going to do with him.
Okay.
I have real big issues with it. You saw me in the private chat. We hear in CC Smoke. I believe there was no rider and it was riderless. That's what I believe. And it looked like they were presenting to Adam. So
it was
that being said, where is Laenor? Where is Laenor? That's the one thing the show has to explain to me.
Yeah, because remember, we don't have Laenor.
Laenor rode away in his merry own little self.
Yeah, technically he's dead in the book. I still don't know.
Bald head as well. It's interesting, isn't it? How they introduced he rode away in a bald head, and he introduced a guy with a bald head and then a guy with loads of hair, and it's like, are we meant to believe that the guy with hair is now Laenor? Is that what we're meant to believe? Because that's different in the books. They are different characters. Laenor is a different character to Adam of Hull.
I'm going to bring up a shot real quick. This is really, really interesting to me because I thought this was Helena. The entire time I saw
that was Sea Smoke.
So I thought this was Helena. I don't think this is Helena at all. I thought it was in the trailer because it's very
big spoiler of a character. This, bro.
What'd you say?
This could be a massive character.
Okay, because in the trailer, I thought it was Helena, but we obviously know it's not because we know what happens right after this. This is when we see Aemond in this brothel or whatever he's ends up being in. She's there, so we know it's not Helena. Like I'm right on that, right? It's not Helena.
I'm going to maybe go out on a limb here and say that this shot is meant to deceive. I think this shot is not where Aemond is. I think that this shot is at Harrenhal.
What, dude? Like,
I think that this
it goes right to like it's. I don't
okay, yeah, they are in they're in the sex dungeons, aren't they? See, I think I know who this character is. This mystical.
Yeah, and they go right, and they go, and again, they kind of go right to Aemond, right there. Boom, there's Aemond. So I don't know.
Maybe it is then, but it would be interesting because of who the character could be and her connection with Daemon, and yeah, it could be interesting. Alice Rivers is the name of the character. You've heard the name before.
I have, and that's why I was wondering because they did focus on her, but then like all of a sudden they go to Aemond and you don't see her again. So I was like, well, maybe that's not her. And then for some reason I'm thinking like I need a redhead for that character, which I don't even know what she looks like, so I don't really know. I'm just going off Melisandre.
You're going off what people thinking that she's a Melisandre vibe. Yeah, you're thinking it has the red witch has to have red hair. Not necessarily. The red witch could have purple hair if she wants,
True. That's true.
Yeah. But it's the connection with that in the books and Daemon and yeah, we'll see where it goes. I did like the callback though with Aemond at the brothel because that was mentioned in the first season. when they were looking for Aegon and they went to visit the brothel, and the woman said,
Right, it
"Nice to
was
see you again."
right. It was Aegon. Right. Um, yeah, I mean, and then we get the whole scene with Kristen Cole and Otto, and basically Aegon's like, "Yeah, why don't you give the badge over to Kristen?" And he kind of tosses at him. I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen with Otto, but I would not be surprised if it's Kristen or Aegon who maybe takes him out at some point. I mean, again, that's
Yeah,
just
my notes go, rat catchers were hanged. Otto is furious with Aegon.
yeah.
Otto, this speech is absolutely fantastic. Aegon wishes to spill blood, not ink. Cole has acted. Arak to slay Rhaenyra. Otto laughs at Aegon, loses his position for his insolence, is what I put. And then the next line, I literally wrote that. I says he loses his position for his insolence, and then he turns around and calls Aegon an insolent pup. And I was like, bro, I just called it. I just called what he was going to say. So it was amazing. It really was. And then Cole gets the hand of the king. Otto says he will regret this, and I believe he will. Rhaenyra frees Mysaria to Pentos. Yeah, that's where we go.
Yeah. And then basically we get we kind of get over to then we get the Eric versus Eric, and we kind of get
I cannot breathe.
yeah, then we can kind of get to the final scene of Kristen Cole coming on in, and he's a new hand of the king, and you put it very, very well in the chat. He's what would you say exactly? He's showing off his new hand or something to Alicent.
Yeah, he's making use of his new hand. He got his new position from Aegon. He's like, I need to test this out. You buy a new car, you got to take it for a spin. He just got a new shiny toy. He's got to try it out. So he goes and slips it into the Queen Dowager. You dirty old bugger. I have on my notes, I have Aegon is still malleable, says Alicent, so she still holds hope that she can control her fate.
Yeah.
Otto says that he will go to Old Town. Daemon is mentioned. Daeron, their other child, is mentioned.
Yeah, that's right. Daeron is actually mentioned, finally.
Alicent says to go to Highgarden instead. Alicent wants to give her sin to her father, but for this time, he does not want to hear it. I like that play on that. He was always wanting to know. All the way through to this, he's wanted to know what's going on behind the scenes. Alicent wanted to give him information, and he didn't want it. He was like, no, I don't want to know. Which I thought was brilliant. And then, Alicent,
yeah, it was good.
Cole
and then
can go and sit at the bottom of the pile for all I care. You seen the meme that's been going around on the internet with the hawk and spit? Have you seen that? That's been going around. Some girl was asked a question, and it was hawk and that. Well, that's what they can do. Those two can hawk. And,
okay.
I don't like them.
Going back to the poll, we have 100% of the people who voted thinking it's Eric with an E, by the way.
Okay.
So there you go.
I would like the show to change it, and it was Eric, and then I can be right and everyone else can be wrong, and I can laugh and gleefully sit there.
Lily, I missed that comment. Lily said actually it's Eric in the book as well. So
yeah, it is. But the show can change things, and I would like them to, and I think it makes more sense for me in my head for Eric to do it, and then be shamefully kill himself for killing his brother. He'd done the duty for the family. He'd made a sacrifice by killing his brother. He didn't need to kill the queen anymore. He'd killed his brother for the whole fiasco, so he took himself out. I think that's a cool way to do it.
Yeah, I still disagree though. So sorry. I think it was.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, I still think it was Eric because I think that he took his own life because he didn't ever want her to think that he would come after her. And I think he knows too that there may have been, I don't know. I mean, some kind of repercussion for him as well, just because she was unsure. And it is, like I said, it is still funny to me because I always thought I could tell them apart in the first season, and then this season they made them look way more like way more.
Did you see it coming? Did you see the fight with them two ever coming?
Did I see it coming? Not really, but like once Kristen Cole sends him, I kind of figured. I mean, what was the chances of them not running into each other? And then he also, and Kristen Cole actually says, like, what does he say? He's like, well, he's like, is your brothers over there? He's like, so just try to fit in. It just happened to, she sent Eric with an E away. So I guess kind of maybe a little bit, maybe not at the first point, but like definitely after we saw, then they basically walk by each other. I'm like, okay, this is not going to end great. So, I mean, maybe to a point, not really, but I think once the episode continued, I think we saw it. So,
Knuckle says, would be amazing if Rhaenyra died. Daemon would go full strength directly to King's Landing.
Yeah,
would you like that? Would you?
You probably would. Yeah.
Sadistic minds. Like, what would Daemon do if he had? And to be fair, Daemon would then have to answer to Jace, and Jace is him, bro.
Yeah.
Jace and Baylor are like power couple 101. They're amazing together. They look fantastic. Like, Jace has obviously had a growth spurt because he was a kid in the other season.
I know.
But he is him. He's chiseled. He's him.
Yeah, if any character that does not look like they continued on from season 1, I would say it's definitely Jace. But it makes sense. I mean, this is 2 years later. I mean, obviously in 2 years when you're, I mean, I don't know how old he is now, but like it's the same. Is it the same actor from season 1?
I believe so. Yeah.
I would have to look it up. I mean, 2 years.
I know they switched from the younger kids. Not, they switched then. But well, like the later episodes, it was a different child.
Yeah. I mean, Aemon and Aegon are the same. Those are the same actors that they were in probably
later episode season 1.
8 to 9, right, and even 10 for Aemon. I think they probably are. Yeah, that we were talking about that earlier. It was a little odd for me. I thought it was weird.
Go-to, bro. That's where he's been going. She groomed him when he was younger.
But also, he's been going there all along. The prostitute looked double his age as well, which is odd. Like,
remember she was an old grown-up woman at the door when he was a kid in the first season, and she spoke about remembering him, and she slept with him when he was a kid, bro.
Is that the same? That's the same woman.
It's the owner of the brothel. It's the same woman from the first season.
That's from episode 9. Okay, yeah. You're right.
Aegon, and he's hiding away, and they can't find him, and they go to the brothels because that's where he likes to play. And we see the little blonde-haired boy, and she says he comes here very often. He's just waifs and strays, so we're meant to believe that little blonde hair was Aegon's boy, And then that woman then says to Aegon, Aemon, she goes, "Nice to see you again," which implies that he's been before.
Yeah, mommy issues, that's for sure. Yeah, I agree.
Wait till he finds out about what his mommy's been doing with Dirty Cole.
Oh, dude, I think there's so much. Like, I just don't know because I didn't read it, but there's so many different ways that this can go. Like, I mean, Aemon could literally just go kill all the Greens. Like, I feel like he's got a beef with everybody. I don't know. It's weird, dude.
So does Daemon.
I mean, I want to see just
they're kind of paralleling. There's a lot of parallel going on.
They do, and I want to see an epic battle between those two. Like, I don't know. They're probably 2 of the top 3 or 4 characters in the show. I mean, they really are. I mean, I like Rhaenyra. I think her acting is absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna be very, very heartbroken when she dies. If she dies in this season, in this show or whatever, because I don't know how they're gonna end it. Like, I mean, you can't just end it with everybody dying. Like, I can't. You have to have something. What's going to happen then? We're just going to get a bunch of
Daenerys was the last known Targaryen. There was only one Targaryen at the time of Daenerys, bro. They were all wiped out almost. So
yeah, but I mean, we still have there's so many years that they're not going to cover. I mean, unless
we're getting there's a new show in production with the Night of the Seven Kingdoms with Duncan Egg that's coming. So we'll get more closer to Daenerys, but bro, have faith. Have faith. It will end successfully in your mind as a Game of Thrones fan. Have faith.
Okay. I mean, as long as Bran the Broken is on the throne, I'm gonna be happy, dude. I'm gonna be super happy. So, I love that ending so much. Yeah, I might have been happier with what's his face, Devil Seaworth. I would have been more happy if he would have been the king. Oh God. Let's see. There was a wild theory going on saying Aemon is Daemon's son. Alicent was banging with Daemon in the early days. What? That's crazy.
There's rumors in the books as to whether Daemon ever slept with Alicent. There's a lot of rumors with Alicent. Yeah, in the book, bro, there's lots of rumors with Alicent. There was rumors that Alicent even slept with the old King Jaehaerys. Like the one before Viserys, the old man at the beginning.
Whoa. Dude, was she even born?
She was young.
Like young, dude. Like 5?
Bro, this is Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. It doesn't make a difference. They tried to marry a 6-year-old off to Viserys, remember?
They did.
She was a little blonde. She was a little girl with dreadlocks. Like, don't age is just a number in this show, bro. But yeah, I like that. Please try to remain spoiler free in the chat because I know some people in the chat don't know all the information we do know. There's one comment there I won't highlight just because not a lot of people know about these kind of things. But yeah, and that one's the ending of the season is going to be good. Yeah, I'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, dude. It brings me back to those first 4 or 5 seasons of Game of Thrones. You know, I still like season 6. I know a lot of people have issues with season 6. I think that's the season with that's the season that Jon comes back, correct? Season 6.
Yeah.
So because there's no, I
end of season 5 is for the watch. Yeah.
Right. So season 5 is where the book's end. Season 6, I mean, I actually don't have a problem with season 7, except for a few different issues there. Especially now that we heard in the first episode, the first episode, Cregan Stark is talking to Jace about how the dragons were afraid to go over that wall.
They refused. They just would not fly over it.
Oh, let's go. We're just gonna go way over. And obviously we have Gendry. I mean, again, man, maybe he's been training for marathons, dude. We don't really know. We need a spin-off of Gendry to see how his running ability through snow is so elite. But we don't know.
I liked him today on I think it was Twitter. I saw today Alicent Hightower or Olivia Cook, the actress. She tweeted or whatever the word is for X. The sex scene at the end of this episode was a lot longer and was a lot messier. And
I heard.
And I am dying and searching to try and find the scene because I want to know how good it was.
I heard about that. Yeah, it's
she's one dirty girl. She's a dirty girl. And if I ever meet her, I didn't get the chance to because I think I wasn't at that con, but I would love to go. You're one dirty girl. I'd love to say.
You went to though.
She did, yeah, bro. It's a horrible pace. It's a stab in the heart. Still, it still hurts.
Yeah.
My first ever con, I got a 9-hour coach all the way to London with no Wi-Fi because they promised me Wi-Fi in the coach and the Wi-Fi didn't work. So I had no Wi-Fi all the way there. I step off the coach 9 hours later, and my friend tells me I've got some bad news. Alicent's cancelled, and I was like, "Don't break my heart."
Do you think? I don't even know if I want to ask this question because I don't want spoilers, but I have to because he's gonna be at New York Comic Con, dude. Dude, am I getting an Aegon? Am I gonna get an Aegon pop for him to autograph?
Yes.
Okay. Is it gonna happen before October? I keep hoping for like an STCC exclusive or something because, like, dude,
the TBD one that's on that line.
You think that's
it? Yeah.
Okay.
I think it could be a scene. I think it could be a scene. Do you know how we got the Daenerys and Jorah scene when they're on fire and they're fighting at Winterfell? Remember that Funko Pop?
Yeah.
I think we might get a scene with Aegon in a certain scene in this show. That's all I'll say.
I don't care what we get. I need a pop because I would
like an Aegon pop.
Something. And so that's what we just said. Yeah. So the dragons get scared. Who was it? It wasn't Balerion. What dragon did they say in the first one?
It was Jaehaerys and Alicent. It was Vermithor
and oh my god, what was the other one?
Was it Moondancer?
I just made a video on this, dude. I can't remember now. Here, I'm gonna pull it up. It was Vermithor and who was her dragon? Was it Meleys?
No, I thought it was
Her original dragon wasn't Melee's.
Silverwing.
Silverwing?
Alicent. It was Queen Alicent's dragon. Was it Silverwing?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Oh man, let me see. Silverwing was Alicent. So Silverwing and Vermithor were afraid.
Refused to go over the wall.
Yes. Yeah. And
don't you have to apologize, bro. Welcome in. Like you're good.
Yeah,
you're asking questions. You're asking the right questions, bro.
Yeah.
I like Aegon waffles as well.
Yeah. Eggo waffles are good. Lego my Eggo.
Aegon waffles just reminds me of 11 and how we haven't had Stranger Things in almost 2 years, and I'm sad.
Of course, they did just show. There were some screenshots of like the next season. This is the last season, I believe, right? Of Stranger Things.
It should be. Yeah, it should be. The kids are getting old now, bro.
Oh, dude. I mean, they're they're all like in their probably 20s now at this point.
So yeah, I see some scores in the chats. What you scored this?
Yeah,
I think they might be different.
So last week I gave it a 9.5. I would go dip below that on this one. I think I'm gonna go a 9, and I think the real reason why is I just feel
You'll
like
change your mind on that.
It might, and that always happens. But I just did not. I just honestly did not like it as much as last week. I thought last week was really interesting because I liked how they recapped everything. They moved it forward. Rhaenyra was so amazing with 4 words. The blood and cheese stuff, dude, I loved. And I think maybe I was just a little bit disappointed that both those characters are gone now. And then we lost Eric and Eric, which was cool. But again, like I know we're losing characters throughout the entire season. Like I completely understand.
It's blow after blow after blow. It's not like they're going to take a break and have some tea and talk about it. It's just like constant blow after blow.
To me, I was kind of like,
and it just gets worse when the dragons get involved.
Nice to meet you. Good to see you. Like it was over so quick for those guys. I never even got to like really connect with them. I think
you will on another rewatch because you know what's going to happen. Now you have that knowledge. Like I had the knowledge going into this that we were going to build to the Cargill fight, and I was waiting and watching with anticipation every single scene. Some they shared, some they didn't, because I knew where we were building to. So now on your second rewatch, when you know what's coming, you'll notice more and you'll appreciate more of conversation between the two. Yeah. Like you would have thrown away a conversation between the two of them in season 1 because who the hell are the 2 guards? They're nothing. They're not part of the story. They're just 2 guards in a show. But when you know the ramifications of it, it makes so much more sense going forward.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah. I'm still going to give it a 9 because I did not think it was as good as last week, but that's just me. So Poppin, I think, gave it like a 9.99. What do you say?
The continuity issues, I'm just going to go with a 10 again because it was stronger than last week and I gave last week a 10. So for me, this week again is a 10. I gave it at the beginning of this episode, this breakdown, we talked with you that this was my favorite ever episode of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, and I still stand to that. I can't wait to go watch it. I'm not sleeping between now and my next live in like 24 hours because I've got slideshows to make and I'm going to rewatch it again. And
21 hours from now, we'll be live again talking about this thing. I mean, again, it's not like I didn't like it. I definitely love it. And I like all the Game of Thrones. Like I can't remember the last episode of Game of Thrones I gave less than a 9, unless we're talking about the last season, of course. But
the last season stands good in its own right as well. When you take away the fact that it's a show, bro, and it's what we got. It's what we got.
Bad. It was so bad. From the Starbucks cup to the dude with the what was that dude wearing? The bad editing. That dude was wearing like some kind of shirt or something.
And the white van in the background of Winterfell.
There's just so many. There's so many. Yeah, and then it's just that the Long Night episode was garbage, dude.
The critique from Cromonocle is the season for them made Blood and Cheese too soft. I agree. Definitely agree, and they could have explained a bit more as to why they were where they were. Because in the book they can't get to Helena and Aegon because they're in Maegor's Holdfast, and that's more protected. So they go to Alicent's chambers because they know every night Helena visits Alicent's chambers with the kids to see their grandmother before they go to bed. So that's why they hid there. It made so much more sense in the book. I agree.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get a little more on them and before they like just die. Like that's the thing. Because like you only see them in the first last like what 20 minutes maybe at the first episode, and then they're basically caught and dead in the first 20 minutes. And
I would like to give you some homework to go listen to the chapter of Blood and Cheese now that it's done.
Yeah,
go listen to that from the book's perspective with the audio thing, and then come to the live stream tomorrow on my channel. And I think you might have a different perspective on Blood and Cheese.
Yeah, message me what chapter
how far to go. Yeah, I will.
How far, because I don't want to. Yeah, I really am trying to.
I'll give you a timestamp to stop that.
Yeah, because like I said, I already got like 3 big spoilers. I feel like in the season, and I'm really trying to prevent that because it's.
And I'm willing to offer that to other people as well in the chat. You know, if you guys want to follow along with the audiobooks episode by episode, knowing that I'll stop you at a point that won't give spoilers, like let me know. I'll send you a little screenshot. I believe it also if you've never had Audible. This is not sponsored, guys, but if you've never had Audible, I believe you can go over there and you can get a free Audible book on your first download, and you can download Fire and Blood, and you can listen to the first 14 chapters before it even gets to the show. Yeah, it gives you all the backstory and all the build-up of the whole story. So yeah, definitely Fidel. That's what I was doing with Headless last summer. Was getting him to catch up with the show so that he had more knowledge coming into these kind of things with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. The audio definitely makes it a little bit easier too, because there's just so much. It's so much. Yeah, it's just a lot of like.
To this day, I still go to sleep every night listening to the audiobook on the TV. I fall asleep listening to the audiobook. Just like I take something in.
I feel like it was a little bit even easier read though than like the original like Game of Thrones book.
Of course, it's a different storytelling type. It's a different it's a different way it's written.
More of a history book, right? Yeah, I really struggled reading that first Game of Thrones book, and I want to try it again or at least listen to it, but like it's Can
I help you with the books? You only read your favorite characters first. If you have a favorite character in Game of Thrones, go read their chapter in the book, because there's 7 chapters in the first book that goes across 7 of the family members of the Starks.
Yeah.
And if you don't like Sansa, for example, I don't. I read Sansa's stories last. I read her chapters last because I can't stand it, book or show. But like, if you really like Jon Snow, go read Jon Snow stuff, and like in their chapters, they'll talk with Peter Baelish, they'll talk with Ned Stark, and that makes you want to go read their chapters because it fills in more from their side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I definitely do it.
Because I definitely try to read it straight through, like starting from the.
No, it's hard.
It was a little brutal. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so Ryan gives it a 10 out of 10. I give it a 9 out of 10. If anybody else wants to throw their score in the chat, we're gonna go ahead and start closing this thing out, I think. So guys, we will be back tomorrow. We're not done talking about this. We're gonna break this entire thing down on Ryan's channel. So make sure you guys to at Ryan Milky 14. Because we'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m., correct?
Yeah.
7 p.m. Eastern. And that would be, 4 p.m. Pacific and, all that kind of stuff. But
it's going to be a long stream.
It is, because Ryan will put together a slideshow. We break down scene by scene, and he'll give us some insight on all the different types of differences between the 2 books. On these Sunday reactions, it's more or less like we're just kind of talking and we're going through the best that we can because we just saw it. So sometimes we miss something. So on Mondays, we really dive deep into these things. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe over to Ryan's channel. And again, that'll be 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So, all right, brother.
Don't forget, guys, the last chance to get your memes. So there'll be new memes out there now on the internet for episode 2. If you find a favorite meme and you really like it over on the internet today and between today and tomorrow for my live, send them to me on Instagram at RyanMilky14 for a chance to get shown in the trailers, in the slideshow at the end of the show. Because we're going to break it down, and then we're going to have a little bit of talk amongst the group, see what everybody feels about the episode going forward, and then we're going to get into meme of the week. And meme of the week, we're just going to showcase the community's memes that they send to me. Fidel's been doing a fantastic job this week. He's been tagging me in so much. I've already got like 6 or 7 memes from him. So yeah, guys, send me some memes so we can mix it up if Fidel doesn't get all of the limelight, because he might grow his head. Want to be careful with that. But yeah, awesome live. Thanks for bringing me on, Headless. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
And thank you
I
for
hope you
being
get some good news in the morning with the puppies and stuff. So yeah, I'm
yeah.
glad we can keep them off for a little bit, and sorry to bring it back.
Yeah, say a prayer for my little puppy. Big surgery
Light a
tomorrow.
candle.
Hopefully she'll be all right. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow I have good news for you on the stream. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, check out channel memberships. It's only $2.99 a month, and any of that money that from now until probably the end of the summer, it will go right to my little puppy dog's care, because it's going to be a pricey little surgery, but I will do whatever it takes to for these two dogs of mine, because you know, beside my wife and those dogs are my life. So I will do whatever it takes. So I appreciate you guys being here. Ryan, again, thank you for being flexible and letting me go live. And we'll be back with you guys tomorrow over on Ryan's channel, breaking this entire thing down, you know, scene by scene. So chat, thank you so much. Pop in. What is it? Is it Cromanackle? I don't know how to say it wrong. I think it's Cromanackle. Fidel, Lily showed up for a little bit. Christina Payne was in there. Kenneth Bird, NC Collectibles. Everybody who popped in, just even for a couple minutes, we do appreciate it. And hey, listen, man, we love this we love this series. This is why we do this. And yeah, so all right, guys. For Ryan, I am Headless. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Don't forget, stay milky, keep those heads on, and we will see you guys in the next video.